Hello everyone, it's Jamal Thomas. Welcome to the Progressive Soapbox. So, in the Parkland shooting at the school, I think it was 17 kids ended up being killed from the shooter who went into the school. Information has been coming out, but one of the most shocking aspects of this case, or one of the most shocking aspects of the information coming out, is there were multiple officers at the scene, and those officers did not go into the school. Take a look at this before I say anything. Let's hit the story. Coral Springs police upset at some Broward deputies for not entering the school. Some Coral Springs police were stunned and upset that the 4 original Broward County Sheriff's deputies who were first on the scene did not appear to join them as they entered the school. Coral Springs sources tell CNN it's unclear whether the shooter was still in the building when they arrived. What these Coral Springs officers observed, though not their feelings about it, will be released in a report, likely next week. Sources caution that the tapes are currently being reviewed and official counts could be ultimately different from the recollections of the officers on the scene. The resentment among some Coral officers toward Broward County officials about what they perceived as dereliction of duty may have reached a boiling point at the vigil at the night of February 15th, where, in front of dozens of others, Coral Springs City Manager Mike Goldrum confronted Broward County Sheriff Scott Israel. A source familiar with the conversation tells CNN that Goldrum was upset that Broward deputies had remained outside the school while kids inside could have been bleeding out, among other reasons. Goldrum said in a statement to CNN, "Given the horrific events of that day, emotions were running high and the sheriff and I had heated moments that following evening. Sheriff Israel and I have spoken several times since, and I can assure you that our departments have a good working relationship and at the utmost respect for each other." Goldrum declined to comment on the content of their conversation. 2 days after the shooting, Coral Springs police officer Tony Pusazzi addressed some of the concerns voiced by many of his officers in an internal email obtained by CNN that said, among other items, "I understand that another agency has given the impression that it has provided the majority of the rescue efforts and that tremendous work of the Coral Springs police and fire departments has not been recognized. Please know that this issue will be addressed and the truth will come out in time. The focus for us now, however, must be on healing ourselves, our families, our communities, and the residents surrounding us. While recognition is not the reason we chose to do what we do, the commission, city manager, and residents are well aware of the actions of our members took in the face of danger and the heroes that you are." The Broward County Sheriff's Office confirmed to CNN that it was investigating the claims that, in addition to Peterson, 3 other deputies did not try to enter the school after the shooting began. Information about the ways Broward County Sheriff's Office didn't sufficiently handle the shooter, both before and during the incident, starting to come out in full force on Thursday, when Broward County Sheriff Israel announced that the video showing Deputy Peterson outside the building where students were being shot upwards of 4 minutes. "What I saw when his deputy arrived, take up a position, and he never went in," Israel said at the news conference. Israel said Peterson should have went in, addressed the killer, killed the killer. Peterson was suspended without pay, after which he resigned. This society, give cops badges, we give them guns, we give them bulletproof vests, we give them this high-tech weaponry, we give them snipers, we give them the capacity to ignore people's rights, to break into people's homes, to tap people's phones. We give them the power to kill and injure and maim, and to walk after killing and injuring and maiming. We give them the power to arrest people at their door, to take property away from them. We give them all of these powers. Now, all of this is done under the pretext of order. We want the society to remain orderly, and we want there to be this kind of following of the law. Part of that is that if there's somebody in the school and that person is shooting other people, then you with your badge, with that authority to beat and to kill and to maim and to shoot and to hurt and to injure and to steal property, needs to put your ass in that building and kill that person or get that person. It is a despicable thing to be endowed with that much power under the law and then to be cowering behind your vehicle when there are kids in that school being shot. It is a different conversation for the reason those kids are being shot. It's a different conversation on how you fix those issues. Fair enough. But at the end of the day, your job and the powers that you've been endowed with pursuant to that job demands that you not cower and hide behind a car, that you actually go in and address the things that take place. I'm not saying it's easy. I'm not saying it's great. I'm not saying that it's not putting your life on the line. But that is the fucking job that you chose. That is the job that you've taken on. It is an amazing dereliction of duty for something like that to take place and you're hiding behind your goddamn cars. So yeah, those people have a reason to be pissed off at that point. My sheriff got there, I mean, our people got in, and we actually went into the building to actually suppress the person who was killing those kids. You guys got here and cowered behind your vehicles. Cowered behind your vehicles. Apparently, they needed the person to be unarmed, not have any power, and get that person one-on-one, where that person can't necessarily have any power in that particular situation. Maybe that's when these guys come to fruition and become heroic. But in the moment where they actually need to use the badge and the gun and authority to kill, the maim, the hurt, and the injure, when you have somebody else with equal firepower, not so much. We'll hide behind our cars. We'll hide behind our cars. They should call them Broward Cowards. Broward Cowards. That's essentially the way that works. I'm not saying, by the way, that it's necessarily an easy thing to go into a building and address something like this. I'm saying that that is the job that you chose. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that for whatever reason you got up and you said, I want to be a cop. I want to either to be able to beat people up, I want to be able to maim people, or some small section say, I want to actually be able to help and save people. Fair enough. Fair enough. Under normal circumstances, you get to bully, you get to push people around, you get to steal property, you get to do all these things, you get to be maniacs. Part of the thing that allows you to be maniacs is that you yourself, when shit like this pop off, that you are supposed to be the party that deals with it. You're supposed to be the party that deals with it. I don't think these people are crazy for being pissed off, saying these Broward cowards stood out there while their officers actually went in there to actually deal with the issue itself. These people were killing fucking kids, or this guy was killing kids. And these guys were taking a quote-unquote position behind the car, cowering behind the car. They were cowering behind their cars. This guy has a right to be pissed off. I'll put this article at the bottom so you can see it for yourself. This is one last part. Let's hear this last part. County Superintendent Robert Rusi said, I'm shocked and I'm outraged to no end that he could have made a difference in all this. It's really disturbing that we had a law enforcement individual there specifically for this reason, and he did not engage. He did not do his job. It's one of the most unbelievable things I've ever heard. Israel also announced an investigation into how 2 other deputies handled warnings about the gunman prior to the shooting, because apparently the person, they were warned that this guy was somewhat off his rocker. So yeah, Broward cowards. Broward cowards. Got to the location, took a position outside the vehicle, quote unquote, cowering behind their vehicles. The other cops actually go in and actually deal with the issue itself. I'm trying to figure out, I thought it was 4 people. Information about the ways Broward County Sheriff's Office didn't sufficiently handle the shooter both before and during the incident started coming in full force on Thursday when Broward County Sheriff's Israel announced a video showing Deputy Peterson outside the building where students were being shot for up to 4 minutes. What I saw was the deputy arrive, take up a position, and he never went in, Israel said, the news conference. Israel said Peters should have went in. I thought they said there were 4. Yeah, I thought they said there were 4, but I will put the article at the bottom. Here we are. Officials told Broward County officials about what they perceived to be a dereliction of duty may have reached a boiling point at the visual with dozens of others when Coral Springs City Manager Mike Goldrum confronted Sheriff Scott Israel. A source from the conversation tells CNN that Goldrum would have said that Broward deputies have remained outside the school while kids inside could have been bleeding out, among other reasons. Okay, so it was more than one. It wasn't just one guy. One guy is apparently left what was fired, but there were more than one people involved. Just to make a point, I understand that it's not the easiest thing in the world. That you know there's an active shooter, and it's your responsibility to go in and actually save the kids who are there, who may be getting injured, who may, like they say, be bleeding or hurt or something to that effect. I understand. It's not the easiest thing in the world. I understand that, you know, if you take the job of a trash man, you have to pick up trash. I understand that it's not always going to be rainbows and unicorns. I get it. I firmly get it. But the job was chosen. This is not what the state forced you to be a particular thing. You chose to be a cop. You chose to have the capacity to bully or save. Well, in this particular case, they didn't need the bully. They needed you to actually save other human beings. Kids, no less. And yeah, Broward cowards. Broward cowards. Hiding behind their cars while kids are being shot and kids are being potentially bleeding on the floor. So, I don't blame this guy for being pissed off. His officers went in, theirs didn't. Essentially, they put themselves on the line, while the Broward County, not so much. So, I'll leave it at this. I don't want to go too far into this one because this one is just a basic story. I just thought it was interesting. You have those powers for a reason. That's what I'm saying. You have those powers for a reason. They're not perfunctory. They're not there just for you to be an asshole and a bully. You have those powers for a reason. The state endows you with those powers under this particular game space for a reason. That school shooting counts as one of those reasons. All right, guys. I'll leave it at that.